Hello, my people. So Phenduka has revealed why he was suspended from Ukaya FM, okay? And we all have speculations. Okuba, it was probably, he said something, or, he said something about Black Coffee's hand. We all had our own speculations as to why he was suspended. He did come on the podcast and chill, and he said that he was suspended for 7 days, right? And he knows probably that he is not going to go there again. It's finished with him and Kaya FM. Okay, so it is revealed that it is because of the illegal matter. I mean, the legal matter that is going on between them and Umini Dlamini. Okay, and to me this is heartbreaking because this is really guilty by association. Okay, because honestly speaking, the person who started this whole thing was Umekji with Umini. He was the one who had a beef with Lantuka with Mini. And now, obviously, because, the podcast and chill, you have to say something whenever they're speaking about, the whole thing. You can't just keep quiet about it, And unfortunately, he said something. And because of MacG, he is now cut off from Ukaya FM, which is so terrible, because he was doing well at Kaya FM. I do listen to Kaya, and he is very much talented. I don't want to lie. Okay, but he doesn't seem to be hurt by the whole thing. It's said that he is getting other offers from other radio stations as well. So kudos to him. Okay, and the fact that he's not hurt about this, but he must really be careful at times and not to carry someone else's baggage or carry someone else's wounds, because it could backfire at the end. Because I really do think that if it wasn't for MacG having beef with Umini, and there wouldn't be any problems with him and Kaya. If Umini did not, sue the whole crew or him and MacG, there wouldn't be any problems with him and Kaya, so he must really be careful at times, words do hurt, and people don't take those measures lightly. They do go on to sue you. Okay, so let's move on to another story. So this guy called Ike Khumalo is really getting to me in a very negative way. Especially when he speaks about women. Okay, so he was at a podcast, Panyul Mlojo's podcast called Convo, right? And they were basically talking, and they were talking about women, right? And he commented and he said, one of the things that he won't ever do is date someone who's got kids. Now, don't mind the fact that this person, right, he himself has 4 kids, if I'm not mistaken, 4 kids from different women that he is not married to. So he goes out on, this podcast and says this most embarrassing thing, that he will never date someone, or rather a woman, who has got a kid. Whether it's 1 or 2 kids, he will not date. And then Panyol replied and said, you do know that that's not possible. You won't find a woman at your age that does not have a kid or kids, right? And he said that he responded and said he doesn't care. Now, he's so old to say this. He is so old to say this. I don't know why he thinks he is a catch. The nerve to make kids and not to marry even one woman that you have had those kids with, but yet you go on a podcast and say you will not be in a relationship with a woman who has a kid. So who are you going to date? This guy is probably in his 50s. Yes, there are women who don't have kids, but at his age, you'll hardly find women at his age who don't have kids. He's old. This guy is probably in his mid 50s or late 40s. There's another thing that he commented on that I recently saw, and he said that, you know, if I found out that a woman has dated a Nigerian guy or any guy from like outside Africa, like that's like a turn off for him. Like he won't tolerate that. Like he will never do that. Like even another comment that I heard him say was in another podcast. He said, yeah, he used to be a player back in his time. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. So he's probably he's probably holding that in his mind that he used to be a player. So for him, he's not letting go of that, and he thinks he's still a player now. So to him, mentally, he's still in his 20s, 30s, right? But his body, his physical self, is mid 50s. Because here in this picture, he looks like he's in his mid 50s. To say that nonsense, that all those comments looking like this with those 5 dreadlocks in his head, on his head. How can you have dreadlocks at the age of 50? You're not a player. You are not good looking anymore. Stop talking about women. Stop talking like you are talking like a teenager, like you're in your 20s, Ike. Like you're in your 30s, Ike. You are not. Grow up. Your age mates are married. And when you are still talking about you will not date someone who has a kid, yet you have 4 kids with different women. How stupid can you be? I'm so pissed off. And you know, sometimes I just don't get these kind of men, because they still think that they are the prize when they are actually not. Notice how they degrade women who have different children from different fathers, but they don't degrade each other from doing that. We can't have children from different fathers, but they can. And they still can go on podcast and say, I will not date a woman who has a kid because I don't want to be a stepfather. Yet the women that you impregnated have stepfathers. Because you failed to marry not even one of them. And you want to come here and degrade women. Yet you have your own faults, Ike. How stupid is this? Men still think very highly of themselves, even when they have impregnated so many women all at once. They still think that they are the prize, but will degrade women who have got children from different men. Why would you do that? Anyways, guys, do let me know what you guys think of this. And I'll definitely engage with you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on my next upload. For now, it is a bye.